security beefed up across country to prevent anti-national activities. Necessary amendments to be made to government grant policy for producing short and full-length film to enhance quality of films, says Information Broadcast Advisor Mohammad Mahfouz Alu. Testimony of last witness against 8 accused in Chankharpur 6 murder case adjourned till tomorrow. Gano Udhikar Parishad urges Election Commission to take necessary steps to bar all candidates to contest in next elections who participated in 2024 elections and collaborators of army fascism. All political parties should face people without threatening government. Opinions of non-political people outside parties should also be given importance, says BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman. Twins Saira and Saima, victims of Milestone School fire incident, return home from hospital after the treatment. Three more Palestinians killed in Israeli attack in Gaza despite ceasefire. Bill for death penalty of Palestinian prisoners approved in Israeli parliament. And Bangladesh leading by 52 runs against Ireland at the stumps of second day in select test. Assalamu alaikum, this is Simran Rashid welcoming you to news at 10. You've just heard the headlines, now on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus will address the nation tomorrow afternoon. Chief Advisor's press wing said Bangladesh Television and BTV News will broadcast his speech live. Canadian Senator Salma Atolajan to MPs Salma Zahid and Samir Zubairi called on Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus at the State Guest House, Jamuna today. Led by Senator Salma Atolajan, the team discussed ways to further strengthen bilateral trade cooperation and address the Rohingya crisis. The Chief Advisor briefed the delegation on the ongoing reforms and preparations for the upcoming February election. He said that the government is now preparing for the election, which will be a historic moment for the nation. He also thanked Canada for its steadfast support for the Rohingya community. Senator Salma Atolajan said that she would make a statement on the Rohingya crisis and reaffirmed Canada's commitment to supporting the displaced community. MP Samir Zubairi, Parliamentary Secretary to the Prime Minister of Diversity, Inclusion and Persons with Disabilities, noted Canada's interest in diversifying trade relations with Bangladesh. The delegation also included Mahmouda Khan, Global CEO of Human Concern International, Masoom Mahboob, CEO of Human Concern USA, Ahmad Atia, CEO of Gestalt Communications, and Usama Khan, CEO of Islamic Relief Canada. During the meeting, both sides discussed potential trade opportunities in the garments, agriculture and other sectors, emphasizing the scope for expanding Canadian investment in Bangladesh's growing export industries. National Security Advisor Khalilur Rahman and Senior Secretary on SDG Affairs Lamia Morshid were also present at the meeting. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus has expressed his delight over the decision to repair and relaunch the century-old BIWTC paddle streamer PS Mahmouz as a pleasure cruise. He said this when Shipping Advisor Brigadier General Retired Dr. M. Shakpot Hussain briefed him about the initiative at the State Guest House, Jamuna this afternoon. Professor Yunus said Bangladesh's diverse boat designs are famous around the world, yet many of our younger generation do not know about them. We cannot allow this heritage to be lost. Measures must be taken to preserve all old vessels, including paddle streamers. Welcoming the initiative, the Chief Advisor said, these traditional paddle streamers should display their history so that the passengers can learn about when the streamer was built, what was the fare at that time, and the stories behind it. This historical narrative must be beautifully presented. Chief Advisor Special Envoy on International Affairs Lutfi Siddiqui, Shipping Secretary Dr. Nurul Nahar Chaudhry and BIWTC Chairman Muhammad Solimullah were present at the meeting. After being ousted from power in the mass uprising, the fascist Army League, whose activities are now banned, has reportedly become involved in terrorist activities once again. In the capital, the group has allegedly attempted to create public panic by detonating crude bombs and setting fires in isolated incidents. However, law enforcement agencies and the general public remain vigilant to prevent such acts of terror. The court has set November 13th as the date for delivering the verdict in the crimes against humanity case against fascist Sheikh Hasina and her associates. Following this announcement, the banned party has allegedly been trying to spread fear across the country, including in the capital, to obstruct the upcoming verdict. The group has also threatened to isolate Dhaka from the rest of the country. According to police sources, regular drives and enhanced intelligence surveillance are underway to curb the banned Army League's terrorist activities. DMP Deputy Commissioner Saud Talibur Rahman said that alongside law enforcement agencies, BNP, Jamaat, NCP, July Revolution members, and the general public are also active in countering these terrorist acts. June 4, 2004 marked the final days of the BNP Jamaat Alliance government. Breaking away from traditional protest programs, the Army League set fire to a BRT's double-decker bus at Shahbag. The blazing flames fueled by gunpowder, 11 passengers were burned to death instantly. From that incident, the era of arson terrorism began in the country. On August 5, 2024, the fascist Army League government fell amid a mass uprising of students and the public. Fascist Sheikh Hasina fled the country and took refuge in India. From Delhi, she has been conspiring to instigate acts of sabotage across Bangladesh. Acting under her instructions, army terrorists have been carrying out arson attacks in various parts of the country. Tomorrow, November 13th, the International Crimes Tribunal is scheduled to announce the verdict in the case against Sheikh Hasina for crimes against humanity. Ahead of this verdict, army terrorists have been throwing crude bombs, setting buses on fire, killing people, and organizing sudden processions in several areas. However, law enforcement agencies have already taken a strict stance to combat these acts of sabotage. Officials have confirmed that police remain vigilant to ensure the safety of people and property. Meanwhile, to prevent any untoward incidents, police have increased surveillance across the country, including in the capital. Checkposts have been set up at various key points in the city. The International Crimes Tribunal adjourned deposition of the testimony of the final witness until tomorrow in the case filed against former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman and 7 others over the killing of 6 people, including Martyr Anas, at Chankarpul in Dhaka during the July mass uprising. At Tribunal 1, the 15th day of witness examination, the case began in the afternoon. Earlier, over 14 days, the tribunal completed the testimony of 24 witnesses in this case. Meanwhile, the International Crimes Tribunal 1 has directed the submission of investigation reports by January 12th in the case over the killing of Hifazat-e-Islam activists during their rally at Shapla Chottor in Motijheel on May 5th, 2012, against Sheikh Hasina, Ziaul Hassan, and 7 others. In another case, the same tribunal has also ordered the submission of an investigation report by January 12th against former Member of Parliament ABM Fauzi Karim Chaudhry and others over the killing of 11 people, including Chhatradol leader Wasim in Chattogram during the July mass uprising. Besides, ICG2 today recorded the deposition of the 14th witness, Sub-Inspector Ashraf al-Islam, in the crimes against humanity case over the killing of Abu Said, the first martyr of the July mass uprising in Rampur, against former Vice Chancellor of Begum Rokeya University, Hasibur Rashid, and 30 others. The hearing began in the morning at the 3-member International Crimes Tribunal 2, chaired by Justice Muhammad Nurul Islam Chaudhry. The trial began on August 28th with the deposition of martyr Abu Said's father, Muqbul Hussain. Of the 30 accused, 6 are in custody while the remaining 24 are absconding. Earlier in the day, 27 accused in crimes against humanity and enforced disappearance cases were produced before the tribunal. The Chittagong Port Authority CPA is set to send a signed concession agreement for 30 years of operations with APM Terminals BV, a wholly owned subsidiary of Maersk, one of the world's leading integrated logistics companies, majority controlled by the AP Moller Foundation of Denmark. The authority will ink the agreement to design, finance, build, and to operate the Lalia container terminal under a public-private partnership PPP framework. Chaudhry Ashik Mahmood bin Harun, executive of chairman of the Bangladesh Investment Development Authority (BIDA) and the chief executive officer of the Public-Private Partnership Authority (PPPA, made the announcement at a press briefing held at the Foreign Service Academy in the city today. Chairman of Chittagong Port Authority Rear Admiral ASM Munir Zaman and Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam were present. Under the concession agreement, the BIDA chief stated, APM Terminals BV is expected to bring in foreign direct investors, FDIs, for an expected amount of about $550 million for construction of a greenfield port terminal in Lalia, Chattogram. This will be the single largest European equity investment in Bangladesh to date. He informed that construction operations from this LCD project are expected to generate over 500 to 700 direct and formal jobs, plus several thousand indirect jobs in construction, trucking, warehousing, freight forwarding, and local SMEs.
Chittagong Port Authority একটা 30-year কন্ট্রাক্টে এন্টার করছে। সো কনস্ট্রাকশন প্লাস 30 ইয়ার কনস্ট্রাকশন করতে আমাদের এস্টিমেট হচ্ছে রাফলি 3 বছরের মতো সময় লাগতে পারে, বা প্লাস মাইনাস অবভিয়াসলি অনেক ধরনের ফ্যাক্টর কাজ করে। যাদের সাথে আমরা কন্ট্রাক্টটা করছি তারা হচ্ছে এপিএম টার্মিনালস। এপিএম টার্মিনালস হচ্ছে এপি মোলার মার্স যে গ্রুপটা আছে সেই গ্রুপের একটা সাবসিডিয়ারি। তারা আমাদের সাথে এই পাবলিক প্রাইভেট পার্টনারশিপ প্রজেক্টে লাউদিয়া কন্টেইনার টার্মিনালটাকে ডেভেলপ করার জন্য আমাদের কাছ থেকে নিচ্ছে। আমরা তোমাদেরকে যেটা দিচ্ছি সেটা একদমই একটা গ্রিন ফিল্ড, এখানে কিছুই নেই, একটা জাস্ট সবুজ মাঠের মতো। সেই মাঠের উপরে ওনারা একদম বেস লাইন থেকে কনস্ট্রাকশন করবেন, কনস্ট্রাকশন করার পরে জেটি নির্মাণ করবেন এবং তারপরে ওনারা পোর্টটা অপারেট করবেন। ওনারশিপ আমাদের কাছেই থেকে যাচ্ছে। ওনারা আমাদের ল্যান্ডের উপরে নিজেরা একটা টার্মিনাল করবেন এবং 30 বছর পরে ওনারা ফুল অ্যাসেটটা আমাদের কাছে ট্রান্সফার করে দেবেন। প্রজেক্টটা করতে ওনাদের প্রায় $550 মিলিয়ন মতো খরচ হবে, উইচ ইজ বাংলাদেশি টাকায় যদি আমি ক্যালকুলেট করি প্রায় 6,700 কোটি টাকা। তো এই 6,700 কোটি টাকা পুরাটাই আসলে এপি মোলার ওনাদের থেকে দিবেন। বাংলাদেশ সরকার এখানে কোনো খরচ হবে না এবং সেই কারণে এই পুরা অঙ্কটাই একটা এফডিআই হিসেবে বাংলাদেশে আগামী 3 বছরে ঢুকবে। চিটাগং পোর্টে যেটা আছে, আমরা যেটাকে নিউ মুরিং টার্মিনাল বলি, তো সেটা থেকে এটার কিছু পার্থক্য আছে। একটা পার্থক্য হচ্ছে যে এখানে প্রায় দ্বিগুণ আকারের জাহাজ ভিড়তে পারবে। দ্বিগুণ আকারের জাহাজ ভিড়তে পারার একটা বড় সুবিধা হচ্ছে এই জাহাজগুলো তখন আর এই জাহাজগুলো হয়তো ডিরেক্টলি ইউরোপে চলে যেতে পারতে পারে। তাদেরকে হয়তো সিঙ্গাপুর বা শ্রীলঙ্কায় থেমে জাহাজকে আপসাইজ করতে হবে না। আরেকটা বড় ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যে এই টার্মিনালতে 24/7 অপারেশন। আমাদের যে অনেক সময় ব্যাকলগ তৈরি হয় আমাদের দেশে এই কন্টেইনারের ক্ষেত্রে, সেই ব্যাকলগটা আমরা আশা করছি যে এখান থেকে সিগনিফিকেন্টলি কমে যাবে। টার্মিনালের ক্যাপাসিটি হচ্ছে 800,000 TEU। আমাদের এক্সপেকটেশন হচ্ছে 8 লাখ থেকে 1 মিলিয়ন, 10 লাখের মধ্যে হয়তো একটা নাম্বারে ওনারা অপারেট করতে পারবেন। এখন আমরা আশা করছি আমরা আগামী সপ্তাহে কন্ট্রাক্টটা সাইন করে ফেলতে পারবো। তো ওনারা যদি ডিসেম্বর জানুয়ারি মাসে কাজ শুরু করেন তাহলে আমরা
present at the ceremony among others. Gana Adhikar Parishad has urged the Election Commission to take measures to bar all candidates who participated in the 2024 election and collaborators of army fascism from contesting in the upcoming national polls. Party's General Secretary Rashid Khan made the call today while speaking to reporters after meeting with the Chief Election Commissioner at the EC office in the capital's Agargaon. He also demanded that no Army League leader or activist be allowed to contest as an independent candidate in the next election. Rashid Khan warned that allowing those who took part in the dummy election of 2024, including the Jatiya Party and other allies of the 14-party alliance, to run again would destabilize the country. If Army League men are allowed to run as independent candidates, they will try to foil the upcoming election, he warned. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mohammad Mahfouz Alam said that necessary amendments would be made to the government grant policy for short and full-length film production to further enhance the quality of films produced with state funding. He made the remark at a view exchange meeting on the amendment of the government grant policy for short and full-length film production 2025 at the Totho Bhavan in Dhaka today. Regarding the selection of films for government grants in the last fiscal year, the advisor said that the films were chosen with utmost transparency in accordance with the existing policies. He urged all concerned in the film industry to ensure the highest quality of producing the films that have received government grants. The advisor said that the Ministry of Information Broadcasting has taken several steps to improve the quality of films produced with support of grants. As part of this, the ministry has taken the initiative to amend the policy on providing government grants for film production. He also called on film-related individuals to submit in writing the areas where amendments are needed in the existing policy. Information Broadcasting Secretary Mahbooba Farzana, Additional Secretary Noor Muhammad Mahbubul Haq, Managing Director of Bangladesh Film Development Corporation, Masumar Rahman Toni, Vice Chairman of Bangladesh Film Certification Board, SM Abdur Rahman, as well as film directors, filmmakers, actors, and film-related individuals also joined the event. BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman today alleged that some political parties are taking advantage of the generosity of the interim government and working against the establishment of democracy-loving people's political rights. The BNP leader said that instead of issuing threats to the government, all political parties should face the people. He emphasized the importance of apolitical citizens' opinions on national issues. Tariq Rahman was virtually addressing a discussion organized by the BNP to celebrate National Revolution and Solidarity Day. Leaders from the BNP and other political parties, along with distinguished citizens and educationists, took part in the discussion. The BNP leader said that the ongoing national reforms should safeguard the interests of apolitical citizens. He complained that a vested quarter is trying to create complexities regarding the national election and stressed the need to forge unity among anti-fascist forces. Tariq Rahman urged all to move forward to ensure a free and fair election atmosphere in the upcoming February polls. The National Citizen Party NCP is distributing nomination forms in full swing as part of its preparations for the upcoming national parliamentary elections. People from all walks of life, including July warriors, are getting the opportunity to purchase nomination forms. The NCP headquarters at Bangla Motor is passing a busy time with enthusiastic aspirants lining up to collect forms. The party aims to field candidates in all 300 constituencies. For general candidates, the form costs 10,000 taka, while July warriors and less advantaged candidates can obtain it for 2,000 taka only. NCP leader Sarwar Tushar said that the party is committed to selecting competent and people-oriented candidates to fulfill the dreams of the July warriors and build a new Bangladesh. He emphasized that the selection process would be highly transparent with no invisible party higher-ups influencing the outcome. The young politician also hinted at the possibility of forming electoral alliances with other parties. 10-year-old twin sisters Sarina Jahan Saira and Saiba Jahan Saima, who were injured in a training aircraft crash at Milestone School and College in the city earlier, have returned home after treatment at the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery. The institute bid a farewell to the two sisters at the director's office of the institute this morning. On the occasion, Director of the National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery, Professor Muhammad Nasiruddin said doctors, nurses and other staff have provided dedicated care to every burn patient. So far, 33 burn victims for the aircraft have already returned home after treatment, he said. The parents of the girls expressed their sincere thanks to the hospital authorities. Award-giving ceremony of Notun Kuri, the popular talent hunt competition of Bangladesh television BTV, would be held tomorrow. On the eve of the occasion, a dress rehearsal was held at the BTV auditorium today. Director General of BTV Mahbubul Alam, Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Information Broadcasting Mahfuza Akhtar, Notun Kuri Coordinator and DDG Admin and Finance, Mohammad Rokonuddin, and Dhaka Audition Committee Convener and General Manager of BTV Dhaka Center Nurul Azam, among others, were present on the occasion. Detailed instructions were given to the Nutan Kuri winners on how they would assemble at the Chief Advisor's office and how they would take part in the official photo session. BTV Director General Mahabul Alam said that the winners of Nutan Kuri have already been enrolled as enlisted artists of BTV. From now onwards, they will be given the opportunity to work as BTV artists, he said. He said on November 15th, a special program will be organized at BTV with the top 10 artists from different categories. He added that today's young artists would be leading the cultural practice. Their sphere will not be limited within the national boundary, and they would win accolades in international cultural spheres and glorify the culture of Bangladesh. Now, international news.